A few days ago, we stood together at the airport in Copenhagen, saying goodbye. My wife had just been deported. Now she is back in Thailand, and I'm still here in Sweden. Suddenly, our life together exists through a phone screen. But if we want to live together again, there's only one way forward. We have to start over. A completely new application to the same system that just forced us apart. So today, I'm beginning the process of bringing my wife back home to Sweden. Hello, my name is Tommy, and this is my beautiful wife Tanida. I'm Swedish, she is Thai. Welcome to our channel. After the deportation, we were suddenly living on the opposite sides of the world. My wife in Thailand, me in Sweden. Everything changed. No hugs, no dinners together, no simple moments. And now I have to start a new application for her to come back to Sweden, to the same system that just forced us apart. Starting a new residence permit application isn't just about filling a form. There are requirements, proof of relationship, financial stability, housing, etc. So today we start the process of applying for a new residence permit for my wife. And honestly, it's a lot more complicated than I expected. But let's start from the beginning and go through the requirements, and I will show you the process. So if you check on the website for the Swedish Immigration Services, migrationsverket.se, you can check the requirements for a residence permit. And the first set of rules applies to both of us. We both must be over 21 years old. We must be married, registered partners, cohabiting partners, sambo as we call it in Swedish, when you live together as a family but you're not married, or plan to enter one of these relationships. That's where we were when we appealed. And now we are married, so check on both the requirements that applies to both of us. And then there are requirements for the person moving to Sweden, my wife in this case, and they must have a valid passport, of course. The residence permit cannot be valid longer than your passport is. So if you only have 6 months left on your passport until it expires, then you can only get a 6-month residence permit. So make sure you have a passport that is valid for more than 2 years, because then you will get a 2-year residence permit. The second requirement for the person who wants to move to Sweden is that you must currently be located outside of Sweden. And that's exactly why Tanida was deported. That's all the requirements for her, for my wife. And now for all the requirements for me. The person in Sweden, me, must have one of the following. I must be a Swedish citizen. Second, the person in Sweden must meet the maintenance requirements. So what the maintenance requirement means is that I live in Sweden must be able to financially support myself and other people in my household. That could be a salary, income from a company, unemployment benefits, sickness benefits, etc. Old age, pensions. In my case, I have a full-time job, so I have a salary. It's not just that you need a full-time job, decent salary. You have to meet these criteria. It also needs to meet these minimum requirements. In 2025, the amount you must have left on your account after taxes and after you paid rent is 10,219 for cohabitating spouses, husband and wife. In my case, I also have a daughter living here, which means additional 5,290 for children 15 years or older. And when it comes to housing, I must be able to prove that I have housing for at least 1 year. If a family of 2 adults and 2 children live together, you only need 2 rooms and a kitchen. There are no requirements for how many square meters, but the rooms must be intended for accommodation. And those are the technical requirements. In addition to that, you have to prove that we are in a relationship. We've checked the requirements and we are good to go. Now all the documents needs to be in order. Lease contract, all the details of how Tanida and I met. So let's get into it. It's not just about love, it's about proving stability, income, housing, and identity. One missing document can stop the entire process. For us, these are memories. For the authorities, it is evidence. The application is finally submitted. Now the waiting begins. And we have no idea how long it will take or if she will be allowed to come back. When you've sent the initial application, there will be a form sent to the person in Sweden with a similar questionnaire. That's when I have to answer all the questions about my housing, my income, my children, how many people are living here, etc. And then you have to make a payment. The cost of applying for a residence permit in Sweden in 2025 is 2,000 crowns. When you look at the stats of the waiting time once you've submitted your application, 75% of the cases for living with a partner takes 18 months. That's 1.5 years. And as we've submitted the new application, we remember Romans 8, verse 28. And we know that In all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose.
ได้ในพระธรรมโรมบทที่8ข้อ28บอกว่าเรารู้ว่าเหตุการณ์ทุกอย่างร่วมกันก่อผลดีแก่คนที่รักพระเจ้าคือแก่คนทั้งหลายที่พระองค์ทรงเรียกตามพระประสงค์ของพระองค์
Hey, Sting! Hur är läget?
Tack, det var bra. Och du?
Det är bra. Nu är det dags för kaffe. Ja, så är det gumman. Puss på dig. How do you prove love to a system? How long will we be apart? Every photo, every call, every ticket is a small piece of the puzzle. She's far away, but we hold on to our hope, to our faith in Jesus. Every call, every laugh, every moment keeps us connected. The system may separate us, but it cannot erase our love, our bond.
Please like and subscribe